Another stream, another day, another stream. Get some music going here just for me. Just for me. You don't get any of it. Oh, perfect. Okay. Cool. All right. I don't know what we're doing. Playwright tests. Somebody was complaining in the contributor meeting, which happens every Wednesday normally, but because of the new year, we did it on Thursday, very early for me. Somebody is complaining that these playwright tests never pass, and we have this new maintenance tracker that tracks how well we keep these tests up, and it's failing partly because the maintenance tracker had a bug. Who watches the watcher kind of situation. But also, these tests seem kind of bad. There might be some inter-test interaction here. There's also just like tons of timeouts. Lots of issues. Timeout exceeded. Expect page to have screenshot. Yeah, I don't know. These it pains me to see so many bugs. Ansh, hello. The man of the hour, the guy who has complained extensively about the playwright tests with good reason. We're gonna see if we can deal with these in like 10 minutes or so. The first thing is, we mostly for fun, we can just build out the test isolation. It's kind of a good practice. You don't really need it, but we should build some test isolation, and the tests are interacting with the database of one another, and that's problematic. So we'll do our best to remedy that situation. I think that's going to be the main thing I want to do. I could also run this flaky test, and we could do some kind of like network simulation here. So the test name is editor page spec or command click spec. Oh no, maybe the editor page spec is a good one. The maintenance award nominee. Yeah, exactly. Nominee. No, yeah, I do appreciate your work. But I wish I didn't have to look at playwright tests. Also, I wish for two things. Okay, so so we can run the tests in playwright's little UI here. I'll try and make it bigger. So I can run the test. Some people do play music on stream, but I think it's a bad idea because people might want to listen to their own music. I also realized, okay, so I think this test passed. Let's see. I think it passed. We can kind of scroll through the history here, see what it did. It really just loads this page. There's not too much it's doing. I think each kind of unique state we get a little image for. And yeah, it basically just loaded the page. And this one would be sensitive to rewrites. If anybody else has run this, it is not my fault, but we will for sure solve it. When you have a tragedy of the common situation, it's not really anybody's fault per se. But I appreciate the notion, I think. Okay. So yeah, this is definitely sensitive to other tests, because if any other test runs this and saves it, it's possible that it could have gotten some circuit JSON content. So maybe that's true, but I don't know. We can also try rerunning it a couple times and just see if it ever errors. If it even errors once, then we know it's just a flaky test. It does seem to execute pretty consistently, though. The GitHub action environment is really resource constrained. So let's see if we can maybe do some network throttling. So if we go to network, I haven't done this in Playwright. I might have to do some Googling. Network throttling. I don't know how to do this. Network throttling Playwright. Oh, not implemented. But you can defer your network via waiting time and page route. Oh, interesting. That's not really what I want. I really want to throttle the API requests. It passes, but when it merges, it fails. Huh. Yeah, I think when you run it individually, it probably passes. My guess is... How does it fail, though? Is this the one we looked at where sometimes it has a PCB view? Like the PCB view sometimes renders? Let's go to my downloads folder here. It looks like sometimes it renders out the PCB view as if the run button. It also says manual snippets imported. Wait, this is a different diff. That's the only Yeah, that artifact kind of sucks. Maybe we can get a video artifact. Add support for video on failure. So it looks like if I do -p video, it'll record a bunch of videos. So maybe if the failure can be reproduced locally, then I could use that flag. So let's do -p video, Playwright. Unknown option, -p, okay. It's probably test, maybe? I don't know. I am unfortunately not a Playwright expert. Oh, you know what we can do? We can run all the tests with UI mode, probably. So now it's going to load in all the tests. And then we can see if we can... This would show us if it was a test interaction thing. So you can see it's running 2 tests at a time. So if the tests do interact, we should be able to see pretty clearly how they interact and why. I also thought one of my theory about code in PCB view random... There's nothing random. There's nothing random. We don't have random, like the function random in our code anywhere. It's not random. It's not random. See, I got a failure right there. It's not random. There's test interaction. Everything has a reason. You got to get out of the mindset where there are random things that happen. It's a beginner's mindset to think random things that happen. Everything in an engineer needs to be rigorous. Okay, so I don't know if this is the exact error we have on CI, but the error that seems to happen here is it waits 10 seconds on the loading state. And we should be able to look at some of the network requests here. We can also try a rerun. Let me try a rerun. It won't let me rerun yet. But look at that. It's just loading forever. Wait for load state for 10 seconds, and it never finishes. And here we have another reproduction. So Ansh, it seems like this is very easy to reproduce, actually. If you just run Playwright test UI, you get the entire thing. So, yeah, I don't know. It's good to have a video flag in the workflow. Like I wanted to ask you, but somehow forgot. Yeah, so recording if we can record videos on failures, maybe, but it's gonna be quite costly in terms of size. So I'm cautiously, I think I would support it, but you might accidentally rack up a big GitHub bill. I have tried to reproduce hundreds of times UI mode. You've never, with running a single test or running all the tests? Because look at all these failures I have. It wasn't right. I got all these failures. I think you just need to. Figure it out from like, I don't know why this one's happening. I don't even know why it would be slow to load. I'm guessing a network request failed. We do have an error in the console here, but it just says wait time exceeded. I don't know if these network requests are useful too. I think we might be seeing... Are these all for this page? I mean, it's possible. Let's try running it again. Loading, loading, loading. So this time it loads. It took 5.1 seconds. So I think it's just slow. I think you just need to increase the timeout there. I've tried to reproduce hundreds of times UI mode. If you believe me, running all the tests, sometimes single only. Run all the tests in UI mode. See if you get a failure. Send me a screenshot if they all pass. But otherwise, I think like in this case, it turns out the editor page just takes a while to load. So just increase the timeout. But yeah, I think that's, I don't think we have anything too complex there yet. But if it gets, especially because it's passing on PRs, it's probably just a resource contention issue. All right, good luck, Ansh. I think I gave you some good tips there with that overall UI mode. If I solve too much for you, then you wouldn't get the pleasure of getting the maintenance award or whatever. So I'll leave you to it. All right. So what are we building out? We got a new CLI. CLI is pretty sweet, but we don't have saving. We don't have a lot of features of the CLI. So I'm gonna pump this out. I was also looking for a long time at keyboards because I fixed the... It's actually almost done now. QWERTY keyboard. So I threw on a Pico. I got that Pico rendering working. So now we have a Pico over here, but there's no traces, so I need to wire up the traces. But this is basically like your dead simple Pico board. There's really nothing to... It's almost disappointing how little there is to it. But I don't like this layout. I was going to keyboard editor layout, and I found this layout I really liked called default 60%. So I think this is a really good kind of like first keyboard layout. The number of keys is pretty low. I'm trying to remember the number of keys. Yeah, there's 61 switches. So 61 is a really nice number because if you're doing grid-based key scanning, which we are, you have the number of pins. You have, with grid-based key scanning, you have rows and columns, and you scan them like a grid. And you need the rows plus columns number of pins available on your microcontroller, and you can then power row times columns keys or switches. That's how many switches you can handle. So 61 is a really great number because 8 squared is 64, so that means we can handle it with 8 rows and 8 columns, which means 16 microcontroller pins, which is a pretty easy number to do. Standard keyboard with numpad has like 101 keys, so it's a little bit harder. You need like 11 by 10, and that's 21 microcontroller ports. That's quite a few. RP2040 supports, or the Pico supports 32, so So it's not really a problem, but I just want to go with a really simple keyboard. Yo, what up, Absy? How's it going? You got this, Anch. I believe in you. I believe in you. Yeah, what's up? What's up, Absy? How's it going? Good to see ya. Good to see ya. Yeah. The thing I don't like about this website, I was thinking about making a version of this website because I'm so annoyed with it because their file format, this raw data file format, they have a serializer and everything for this, but it is really annoying to use. Like, yeah, I was really debating, should I just like make a version of this site that exports a little bit easier and maybe includes a TS circuit output, because this hasn't been updated in a long time. Whoever did this, they did such a good job because nobody has replaced it in many, many years. Privileged to get featured every day on stream. Thanks for the shout out. No problem, Anj. Yeah, you're famous on this stream. Man, what do you call it when there's a name for a person who's kind of like trying to climb the ladder to get fame? I forget the name, but anyway, nobody hears that because there's no fame on the stream. Anyway, yeah, so how this thing works is you have keys, you can add new keys, and then they have this tool down here, or no, actually you use arrow keys and you can move them around. So you move keys around with your arrow keys. You can kind of arrange them on a grid. So it's dead simple. They have all these presets you can pick from. So I don't know. Seems pretty simple to make. I don't want to fall into the trap of making something when I should be working on TS circuit. TS circuit is like, you know, you gotta stay pretty close to the meat and potatoes of the software, right? I don't want to stray too far from electronic design, but man, I think it would only take a day to get something comparable, and then I would get the output formats I like. Because this output format is kind of crazy. It looks like JSON, but I don't think it even parses as proper JSON. It's a little bit of a custom format. I think this one is semi-proper JSON, but I looked at some of the other keyboards and they have a slightly custom syntax. So yeah, lots of things I do not love about it, but very, very simple. Yeah, I don't think this would take very long to build. I do need to get that default, this layout though, all of these key positions. So I don't know. I could either build out that whole tool or I could somehow figure out how to read this format. I think there's something KLE serial. I can like paste in my data here, and then it gives me a slightly better format to work with. Let's do this. Let's go to observable. If you don't know observable, it's an online notebook for you know, working with data in JavaScript. So let's say default keyboard layout, and we'll use this to convert the format into something more palatable. So first we're going to define our data object here. So KLE serial output equals, oh, maybe I can upload JSON actually. Let's see. Database, nope. File attachments, yes. Okay, I don't think they have a built-in AI, which is kind of crazy. Observable, what are you doing? Okay, so then we're going to click this button. And we've got our keyboard layout, internal, whatever this is. If you're not following, we'll start drawing things soon, so no worries. So we got a JSON object. Let's take a look at it. So keyboard layout internal. Can run that. And now we have a nice way to look at each key. So those are the key labels. And then we've got an XY, a width, and a height. The width and height are not in a real unit. They're in, they're proportional to the key size, I think. So I don't know if it's going to say. But a key is like 19 millimeters or something like that. Yeah, they don't really have... I don't know about this tool. Try to get more fame, but when you get bored, review my PR on snippets. I don't know what's going on there. There's a lot of snapshot changes on that one. I just don't know. Hidden assemblok. Header drop down. This looks correct. Yeah, okay. Yeah, good, good. Yeah, make it bigger now. Okay. Oh, you have a merge conflict. Dude. Fix your merge conflict. Let's see, where is... At Techman, gonna let... Try to take one because it's one of his new PRs. Because he's... Because... He's new. Tip $2. Third one. I don't know if this is compelling stream content. You know, all these reviews. I don't really care though. It's more of a work session. It's more or less an office hours / work session. Max H screen. I know you didn't test it. I know you didn't test that Max H screen. Because it's hard to test. Yeah, alright. It's fine. If I look healthier today, if my skin looks more vibrant, it had nothing to do with lighting. I had misconfigured my camera, and so it made me look deathly ill. But it has now been mitigated. Okay, let's see. So we've got this layout. It's pretty hard to read, and all the key position, all the widths and heights are incorrect. We don't have center position, so this thing, it's like, yeah, it's just not great. So we need to map this into a better format. Maybe we can plan for a second here. I think the best format would be the key name, let's say, which would be like a string, and then center X number, center Y number, and then maybe width number, height number. And we have to consider the normal key spacing. So we're gonna use O1 to write our algorithm for this. Should be pretty easy for O1. Want to test using autoload snippets does not work. You gotta ask Shibo. I couldn't get it to work either. I meant to do it in the meeting, but we didn't have time. Yeah. But yes, I would like to know how that works. Convert this to match the following type. I'm working a little backwards here. Let's see if we can copy out this big object. Can I copy as text? Of course not. All right, we'll open it in our browser, copy it, write a function that converts the JSON object to the specified type. Keep in mind the JSON object uses 1 to mean one key width. A key is, how big is a key? I want to say a key is like 19 millimeters. Yeah, it's 19 millimeters. Ugh. What is that? Standard key spacing. I don't know about that. Makes me nervous. A key is 19.05 millimeters. All right, so this is going to write a function using O1. Ostensibly the best AI in the world. I haven't checked the leaderboard in a little bit, though. Let's see. Code editing leaderboard. 84. Although there's a new... Yeah, there's a polyglot leaderboard. It's not linked in the sidebar there, though. So O1 is still the best, yeah. And then DeepSeek is actually quite ahead of Sonnet right now. Huh. Yeah, Anthropic said they were going to release a new model, a new Opus, but they never did. So hopefully they do soon. Okay. O1's writing lots of stuff. Okay, good night. Getting sleepy. It's 12:19 in India. See ya, Ansh. Thanks for the work. Okay, this is not the most copy-pastable code here. I think this is the main thing I need to copy and paste. So let's do that. And then we'll just clean this up a little bit. And why are you showing? Okay, so it wants some KLE JSON, whatever. Delete that. I want to make sure this code runs. It says unexpected token because I can't run Typescript apparently. That is disappointing. Yeah, I guess observable. I guess it's kind of old at this point. Doesn't support Typescript. What are they doing at observable? They were really leading the game for a while. It is hard to monetize, though. Maybe they are about to go under. Okay. I've paid them from time to time. Convert KLE. I didn't pay them since they made a lot of stuff free. So, I don't know. I don't know what they're up to. Maybe they decide to focus on enterprise sales. Okay, this format looks pretty good. Okay, so we should have 61 keys here in all of these positions. So that looks pretty good to me. Oh, I wonder, yeah, okay. Compute key centers. It's doing it. All right. Okay. I think we have our JSON object, but we should verify it. So write a JavaScript function to convert our array to a SVG. So we'll just verify that it's getting the layout right. I really think you could build keyboard layout in less than a day. I should do it. Maybe later. Looks good to me. Okay, so we got our function defined. And then I'm actually going to kind of go out of order here. So we'll say convert, what was this function called? Create keyboard SVG. And then maybe it takes this as input, I'm not sure. Okay, so render the SVG. Now we can use the SVG function like this. And observable should draw the SVG. Or maybe not. That did not work. It's been a little bit since I used observable, so this might take me a second. SVG, and then you inject the string. There we go. Wow, look at that. Draws perfectly. AI is crazy, yo. Hey, what up, imposter engineer? Mr. CEO, yes, that's definitely the identity profile I associate myself with. I managed to make point to segment distance find the traces, committing soon. Awesome. I love it. And then that PR is, I believe, ready to go. I can't remember if we had anything else we were working on with that PR, but sounds good. Also very happy to see this is working. I don't know. Do you guys think I should build an alternative to keyboard layout editor? I think it would take a day or two, which is a day or two of not electronics features we would have. I don't know if I like that. But I think it would only take a day or two and it'd be better. I'm annoyed by that site. It's not open source either. It's like unlicensed. The dude disappeared off the face of the earth. Or I don't know where he is. Maybe he's around. But he stopped committing. The nets are ready too. Nice. All right. Eager to review that PR. Can't wait. All right, so we've got our keyboard layout here in our kind of simplified format. I'm going to download this as JSON, open it in a new tab, copy it, and then we're going to go to our keyboard project over here, and then we're going to replace this keyboard data because I don't like that. I don't like that keyboard anymore. And then we're going to have to fix a lot of bugs because the formats are totally different. Okay. Paste, question mark. And then let's format it. Okay, so now we got lots of keys and their positions. Can I hide this code view temporarily? Oh wow, this is, that's unfortunate. You have to scroll all the way up to hide. How do I hide this? There we go. Okay, so yeah, there's no keyboard data rows, so just keyboard data map, row, blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, this is not how it works at all anymore. Keyboard padding plus. Yeah, this isn't really how it works. We might have to rewrite a lot of this. Hold on, let's do this. Let's just try returning key equals k underscore. This isn't a row. This is like a. Yeah, key name. Some of these key names are not super friendly too. Manjeet, hello, welcome. Good to see you. Actually, I don't remember you. I have to be honest. I was flubbing. I'm sorry. There's a lot of people, you know. I can only keep track of so many. Name. We'll set to this. If you've contributed to TS Circuit, there's a good chance I'll remember you, or at least get you mixed up with somebody else. I think that's good. So this might render now. Let's find out. Oh, nice. Wait a second. Is that right? Yeah. I think that's right. Why does it look weird, though? Oh, it's upside down. Oh, boy. Too many tabs. Yeah, because that's the space bar on top. So we need to flip the Y. I would have done this elsewhere, but we'll just flip it in our rendering code. Okay. Yeah, so PCBY, we're just going to set that to negative. And then I'm going to try collapsing this data. We don't have support for multiple files right now. Another reason I really want to get the CLI done. Okay. Run. Okay, cool. Now it's rendering properly. You can see the space bars on the bottom. See how this key has no keys around it? Sometimes people use 2 switches for the keyboard. So that's also something you can do. I'm going to use 1 switch because I'm lazy. But people will probably give me grief. It's probably not the right way to do it. So we need to center this guy. So we'll say, let's start with like minus 50 millimeters. Wow, that didn't do anything. Minus 100 millimeters. How big is this? Jeez. 150. Okay, a little bit less. Okay, cool. And then we'll send this guy up like 50. Yeah, I could have done that a little bit more exact by measuring, but I forgot. Cool. Yeah, this is a lot smaller too, which is nice. So let's reduce the width of the board. Yeah, cool. And then I'm going to try to make room for the Pico on the left. Nice. We'll shift the Pico over slightly. I'm just going to move this one with my, yeah. That's interesting that the silk screen isn't moved when you do manual edits on PCB Viewer. It's a good issue. PCB Viewer manual edits don't move silk screen. Yeah. Oh, I should bounty that. Cool. All right, so I really want to order this keyboard today, so let's save and check the 3D view here. Yo, what up, Shibo? Wow, that took forever to render. Yeah, so the reason for the weird spacing on the left and right is those keys are not normal sizes. Those are specially sized keys. That silk screen is kind of bugging out a little. I should probably move the silk screen a little lower. Also, our 3D models are off. You can see they don't go through the holes. I can fix that. I'm trying to think of what order I want to do this in. Let's do the auto routing first, because then this keyboard is actually orderable. It's only not because the 3D preview isn't something I actually send to JLC when we order. Yeah, okay. I wonder how much this costs to board this size. You know what? They're not going to tell me unless I do a full upload. All right. Or maybe they'll charge me $2. They're JLC has so many like pricing schemes going on. It's hard to keep track of. Okay. So we need to wire this up to the Pico. And to do that, we're going to use, I'm going to try to make a new function, like or a new snippet that helps you wire keyboards together by giving it, you give it the names of the keys that you have, and then you give it the grid size, and then it figures out how to wire them up. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically what I want to do. Or maybe you could even just give it an array. Yeah. So I'm not going to use snippets to design the function, but I will paste the function here. I would love to use the snippet CLI for this, but I don't know. I guess I'm procrastinating the work a little bit. Snippet CLI is not working, but it doesn't save to snippets. Ordering things is hard. Pico, weren't you going to use an ESP32? Yeah, I like the Pico because so my current thinking is so ESP32 is really better for IoT boards. So it's a little weird on a keyboard unless you want to use Bluetooth. So if we wanted it to be a Bluetooth keyboard, we would use ESP32. But I really like simple development boards that you can paste on. So like how I think about in my electronic design process, which isn't like, probably the same as everyone in his industry. I don't know. I haven't worked at tons and tons of electronics companies. But I think you use like dev board, fixture. So like, your prototyping process, the header on this would be prototyping process. You do your dev board fixture, and then like single PCB prototype, and then miniaturized. So this is how I think about it. So all of our keyboards are kind of in this stage still, this first phase. I don't think I spelled miniaturized right. That's a really hard word. I'm usually kind of okay at spelling. Miniaturized. All right. I'm usually pretty good at spelling. Anyway, so yeah, first you have a dev board fixture. So this is where you would use a Pico, or I really like the PSOC 2 development boards, lots of stuff like that. What's another development board? There's lots of development. SparkFun has a really big one too. But anyway, then single PCB prototype, or I really want to get into the micromod modules. So micromod prototype. This one is just going to be the Pico. Oh, I didn't know Pico 2 had Bluetooth. I'm just going to use the Pico on this one because, like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess people want... I think people probably do want, like, a more practical keyboard. But do people really use Bluetooth? Yeah, I guess people do. Okay. This keyboard is just a stepping stone to the... I don't know. I don't know if it meant... I don't know. It's a good point. It's like right now I'm just like, oh, I need example circuits, so I'm kind of being lazy about the design. But if you were like, you know, if this was your baby, you would pick the best stuff for it. Yeah, batteries. Yeah, that's true. You would need a battery circuit. But Pico makes it really easy to do a battery circuit. I think, yeah. It is kind of a tough choice. Oh, we also have to, I forgot about this. We need to do the schematic. Spare no expense. Oh, interesting. The schematic X and schematic Y are working for this component. Everything is so hacky with snippets. I think it's hacky because I don't use my local editor, so I get like lazier with naming and stuff like that. Because like, yeah, I really don't like. Even though I build a web IE now, I guess I really don't like them. Like I like them for tweaking and like kind of understanding code. That's why this is here, but I do not like using them. This one is only tolerable because it has TypeScript autocomplete. Okay, so Key should be able to take schematic X and Y now. So let's refresh that. Oh, I might have just nixed my changes. We'll see. No, I didn't. Cool. So we refresh the page. So hopefully, yeah, there we go. Okay. It's not using the right symbol for these. Oy. I hope you know the reference. Spare no expense. Oh, wow. He says it a lot. Hey, that's so funny. First version can have missing function. It's okay. You can always create V2. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think, yeah, it's like, yeah. It's hard to find the right compromise between like, okay, we're running an experiment or we're doing like something bigger. Okay, there's some weird stuff going on here. So, I think this U1 component doesn't actually have anything in it. Let's like try commenting this out. So the U1 shaft, I'm pretty sure, is the only one that actually has ports. I think this other one... Okay, now I'm not sure. Key hot socket, key shaft for hot socket. I think... Okay, actually, I have no idea what's going on. What are these? Key hot socket. Yeah, key hot socket is the important one, I think. Because this is just the key shaft. So I guess... I'm trying to remember. I have a Notion doc on this. All right. Got to remember our parts. So we got the key shaft, Why is this called the key shaft? Wait a second. Okay, key switch holder. Okay. This one is the key shaft. If we looked at the bottom of it, it would have a big hole. So the key shaft, I think we don't care about. I think we only care about the key socket. So this one really shouldn't have a schematic representation, but I think it does. Yeah, it is a pretty confusing schematic representation. So that's fine. We'll go edit that. Keep going down this rabbit hole. So it's got a schematic port arrangement. So what we could do is empty out the schematic port arrangement and say you're not allowed to connect to any of this because it's just plastic. So if we do that, the schematic will just be a box. We don't actually have the ability to turn off any schematic representation for something. So we would have to add that in core. So there's a core bug. People are like, oh, what issues should I work on? And I'm like, man, just use the product. You'll find so many issues. Allow disabling schematic rendering for a chip. Yeah, technically, maybe this shouldn't even be a chip. I don't really know what to call it. Like mounting holes shouldn't be a chip, but chip is kind of like the general purpose utility. Allow disabling schematic rendering for a chip. Some chips don't have a associated element on the schematic, e.g. the key shaft of a key switch. And then I'll just link to this project. Could be a new prop, no schematic representation. Is that too verbose? No schematic kind of seems like enough. We can start with no schematic representation. Let's do it. No schematic. Nah. We'll bounty that one up. The guy hires one IT guy. Who? Am I the IT guy? Oh, wait. The dude from Jurassic Park has one IT guy for his massive operation. Is that right? I don't even know if I've seen Jurassic Park. I know it's a classic or whatever, but let's see if we can hack this feature into existence. So if I make the schematic width 0.1, the schematic height 0.1, I think that'll make it a really small box. Yeah, it looks like there's a limit to the schematic width, but we can make it basically not a thing. And for manufacturer part number, we can say, I don't know. I don't want to go too excessive here, but that's probably good for now. Try to shrink that thing so I don't have to fix the bug. We're just accumulating bugs. Every time I play with the product, it's just a game of accumulating bugs. Okay, we need to refresh this page to get the updated key shaft. Yeah, that's right. What? It is a classic. You better watch it. I will. First, though, I got to see Wicked. Am I right? It's got that guy from Bridgerton. Any Bridgerton fans here? No? All right. Is there a KiCad symbol / footprint to TS circuit converter? There is. But since it doesn't have as much, like I was working on it for, we have, actually it is, and it works well. I shouldn't, so we've converted like the entire KiCad library to TS circuit. That's what this project is. So like at least the standard library. So the converter must work pretty well because it was able to convert this entire thing. So let's see. Yeah, so the repo is called KiCad Converter, but unlike some of our other projects, we don't have a way to upload and do it online, I think. Which is kind of annoying. For most of our converters, we try to have an online tool. It might also convert it into circuit JSON. So to convert it into TS circuit would require an additional step. So quite annoying. Reposting my earlier question since I think you missed it. Do you have a video where you create the Pico footprint snippet from scratch? I need to do this for the Seed Studio ESP32C6. Let me take a look at that. Let's take a look at that issue. We should be able to convert. I'm a little disappointed. We should be able to convert KiCad stuff online for you. KiCad has a lot of formats. That was where I kind of struggled with KiCad. It's got like its footprint. Like, what's the file type that you have for your existing ESP32C6 footprint? Because if I know what you have in the existing thing, I might just build a quick web converter, because that is something that is pretty important. Whoops. All right, let's look up this thing. ESP32 Seed 6 Seed Studio. Do I have a video where I created the Pico? We create the Pico in like 5 seconds, or I created it in like 5 seconds using import from JLC PCB. So unfortunately, it wasn't manually created. You can look at the example code to see how it, because it runs, normal TS circuit code. It truly imports it into TS circuit code. But okay, so let's see if JLC PCB has this. Oh, your lucky day. I don't know if they have a footprint though. Not your lucky day. Hold on. I don't think they have a footprint for it. Oh yeah, KiCad mod. We can do KiCad mod. Oh wow, look at this Seed Studio library. Oh. That's pretty cool. Okay. I wonder if I should just build the web tool real quick. So JLC has a part number for you here, but it looks like they don't really like to put it on the board. I don't know why they're saying unavailable, but we might be able to get a free footprint just using this. So let's try it out. Yeah, component not found. They probably don't have the footprint for it. Okay, so you can create the footprint in probably like a minute using our okay, I'm going to show 2 ways. So I'm going to show you how to do it. Oh wow, this is buggy. So it's a stamp board, so you can actually generate it. So number of pins, Like you can generate it just given their dimensions really quickly. So I'm just going to show this for posterity. We're going to convert it directly and use the official one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so it's 14. So 14. And then, oh, this view is kind of messed up. Oh boy. Okay. So then you just need to give the pitch. 2.54 is probably the pitch because it's probably standard breadboard spacing. Okay. Inner hole, you can check inner hole distance. Yeah, you can mess with this. Anyway, all this gives you a string that you can just paste in. So basically, like, we have these strings called footprinter strings, and you can paste these in to quickly create footprints. So sometimes that's a really simple, yeah, castellated holes, yeah. Ansh, the production site doesn't have the assembly view right now. You have to go to run frame, which isn't yet integrated into snippets. Yeah, it's annoying. We're at a refactor moment, so you have to go to run frame if you want to do the assembly view. I think somebody else already did it though. Yeah, it is castellated hole. So I think you could configure it like this, and put in all the dimensions and get what you want. It's pretty simple to just like play with this until you get something, and then you can come into this tool and use the dimension tool to just check things and say, oh, okay, this is all in millimeters, and make sure everything's right. But let's do the KiCad mod import so that we can use the official stuff. But this is available. That tool, that insert footprint tool, is like a little bit buggy, but it can give you the right idea, give you all the right parameters. Okay, so yeah, so let's see if we can do that KiCad converter thing. I'm kind of curious what the state is of this project. I mean, we converted the entire KiCad standard library, so it should be pretty good, but I don't know if it converts it into TS circuit code yet. Maybe this isn't the right project actually, because this one has KiCad PCB PRL. I don't actually see a mod converter. I do not like it when things are confusing. Okay, KiCad mod converter. Okay, so we have a separate converter for KiCad mod files. Oh, it's got a CLI. KiCad mod converter, convert KiCad directory. Oh shit, does that work? This might actually work for you. What is a KiCad sim file? Oh, it's a symbol. Yeah, we don't have KiCad symbols yet. KiCad symbol parsing. I want to make sure we track this. So I'm gonna simplify, like summarize this issue by saying convert Seed Studio KiCad library over, make utilities to make sure this is always easy. So how our DSN converter works is this is a very similar format, but what you can do is you can like upload multiple files and it'll generate a single TS circuit component. Or this one I think generates circuit JSON, but or it gives you a view. This one just lets you view it. So I think we need this, but for these footprints. And then I guess converting the entire library would be cool too, but I'm less focused on that because what I found is that it's a little bit easier to just have people create snippets, because then if they have to make any modifications, those get captured really easily rather than trying to convert and maintain entire library conversions. It's like one learning. So I think if we did something like this, you would upload both the KiCad mod and the KiCad symbol file, and then you would get a like a TS circuit component you could use, and you could preview it in browser. I think that would do what you want. The Seed Studio repo, yeah, okay, yeah. Ansh says, the issues you are putting in snippets about assembly view, how can we shift it to another run frame repo? I'm saying this because of the bounty issue. For the assembly stuff, somebody has got to integrate run frame into snippets. It's a really hard integration. I don't know. Yeah, the issue is in snippets, but the fix requires another fix. So, you know, just because an issue is bounty doesn't mean it's possible to do right now. Like 99% of issues you can do right away, but a couple of them do have dependencies. I'd rather put a bounty on it than not have a bounty on it, because it is important. Because I put bounties on things based on their project value, not necessarily the difficulty. It is a mix of factors, but a lot of it has to do with difficulty. Arn, if you are still there, I'm curious if that would solve the problem. If we had a site where you would upload the KiCad mod and the KiCad sim, and then it basically outputs that snippet, or even if we put it directly into the TS circuit like import thing, like we could literally do that. Import, I don't know what I would call it. I wouldn't even call it, I would say KiCad component, and then you would upload both those files. That would be nice. Okay, let's build that out right now then. That'll probably take about 1 hour, is my guess. So we'll do two things. Before I build in snippets, I'll build a site that's just dedicated for that purpose, like the DSN converter. And then, yeah. The KiCad symbol file we've never read before, so that one will be interesting, but I think it's doable. That might take slightly more than an hour. Let me look at the KiCad sim format. Let's look at that Seed Studio repo. Okay, I should put this in the original issue too. All right, this is what we're tracking now. We're gonna do this. Good issue, Arn. Appreciate it. Okay. Let's look at the... I'm just clearing everything out because there's no telling. Yeah, I want to go as fast as possible. So, okay. Let's take a look at what that KiCad sim file format is like. Built so many, gosh darn, KiCad converters. All right. So as expected, it's an S expression file. I've only recently started following the project, so I'm not sure if you've answered this somewhere already. What's the end goal with TS Circuit? I think, you know, I just made this landing page, I think 2 days ago. So I think this is pretty accurate, where we're just trying to be the next foundation for electronic design. And it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody is using TS Circuit, but the libraries that we produce, because we make like over 100 libraries, are kind of like, you know, improve how easy it is to generate electronics. So in the future, there'll be things like Squarespace for electronics and stuff like that. And we think it's not possible with the current tooling. So hopefully this is sort of a new permissively licensed way to build electronics. Yeah. And this year, 2025, is going to be probably the breakout year because we're introducing new capabilities like logic simulation, analog simulation. So there's going to be so much. Like if you've ever used we were talking about this in the contributor meeting, if you've used anything like an IO expander chip or something like that, like you're really nervous. Maybe if you're a very seasoned electrical engineer, you're not so nervous using that, but like memory, whatever, you can be very nervous because you're not sure if you're wiring it up properly. And a lot of times that's because of no logic simulation inside of KiCad or anything like that. You usually have to use a myriad of tools to get all those checks that you want. So hopefully TS-Circuit can combine all these things together. So yeah, new foundation technology. Okay, I'm looking at the symbol format. So the thing is, we don't really support custom symbols in TS-Circuit, and that schematic symbols, but this is probably just a box, right? I don't know how to visualize this. Maybe I just need to import it into KiCad. Maybe this will take more than an hour because of this symbol format. It's probably just a box, right? It's funny. KiCad has all these tools, symbol editor and all that. You have to. Okay. I don't know if I'll be able to copy and paste this in here. Let's see if we can import it somehow. Symbol. No symbol library selected. Oh, yeah. KiCad library management. I love it. So it's giving me the name of a directory here. So I'm going to try to copy and paste that directory or our symbol into that directory so that we can preview this symbol. This is a very hacky way to do it. You're not supposed to do it like this. Shit, what was the name of it? Seed Studio, something. Okay, we're going to copy and paste that to applications, KiCad. Okay, hold on. Oh boy. All right, so theoretically it's in this library now. I don't know if it'll work. I probably have to refresh this and then seed. KiCad library management. I think I put it in the right place. I just dropped it in here. Symbols. I feel like that should work. Maybe it's not called what I think it is, though. Maybe Xiao. Xia. ESP. Well, anyway, it is probably just this, right? This is really what I was looking for. This is probably what the symbol looks like. So yeah, let's dig in. Man, this is such a man, this format. It's fine. It's not a bad format, but I just hate S expressions so much. And then it's really hard to convert this into TS circuits format because TS circuits format is like very domain specific. We'll see what we can do. As long as the automatically generated from the footprint is readable. Oh, it will be. Yeah. Okay, let's start with the KiCad mod. You can see me just like struggling over here. This is a struggle stream for sure. Oh my gosh. They draw out every line. Yeah, I'm not mad. I get it. I'm not mad at KiCad, obviously. KiCad is like the best in the sea of crappy EDA formats, but why would you draw every line out? Like, it's not really a domain specific format. Like, TS Circuit would represent the same thing in like 30 lines, and they took less than 30 lines, and they took so many lines to represent this. It's mind blowing. Okay, no problem. Deep breaths. Let's begin. We're going to create a new project. Whoops. We already took the name KiCad Viewer. Should we do KiCad Mod Viewer? It's not really mods if we want to do symbols eventually. Oh man, we're running into naming issues here. Let's maybe do it inside the KiCad mod. I mean, at the end of the day, it's really about KiCad footprints, not mods. So the name of the repo might be wrong, but we'll rename the repo at some point. Actually, fuck it. I'll rename it now. I don't care. KiCad mod converter. We'll call it KiCad footprint converter. It's not really footprints, is it? It's more like component. We'll say KiCad component converter. Okay, perfect. We'll rename the repo too. Although I think I have a package issue. Yeah, so we'll call it component converter. Component KiCad. Let's say KiCad mod or KiCad sim into circuit JSON or TS circuit. All right, let's go. Oh man, we got a lot of people. Okay, a lot of messages. Do we need to do that task assembly one in run frame right now or need for works with snippet? Also, do you have any plan to introduce the TS Circuit Enterprise version or something? Yeah, at some point we'll let enterprises run an on-prem version of the registry. So yes, eventually. At some point. Hello, Steve. How are you? What are you create today? What up, Rohit? My name's not Steve. It's Sev. I'm not offended. That's fine. That's fine. I get it. We're working on converting KiCad symbols. Something that, is necessary. How does this work? There's not too much code in this module here. Index. Okay, so convert KiCad. Oh, just TS circuit soup. So we used to call circuit JSON soup. So we'll say circuit JSON, and we'll link to the circuit JSON repo or TS circuit code. Snippets. Good name, I guess. Hello, bro. How are you? From India, got in feed. Got in feed. What does that mean? Got in feed. Do you mean slid into DMs? I don't really like this name. KiCad component converter. It's kind of a shit name. We'll figure out names later. It's kind of a bad name, though. All right. So it can read. It reads in a KiCad mod file and converts it into. Wow, we have a lot of refactoring to do. Whew, this is old. Sorry, Sevi. Nice haircut. Thank you. He means you showed up on his feed. Oh, okay. Got in feed. Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm getting on people's feeds. I love it, you know? It's just becoming a celebrity every day. I think, like, I was looking at some of the some coding streamers who have a lot of viewers. They still only have 100 viewers, you know? Who's like who's like a top streamer right now? Like, who do people care about? Like, when I watch streams, I don't watch streams too often. I guess I sometimes do, but I do it on X now. But it was like Pokimane, and I feel like those days are long past. I feel like that's means I got in a YouTube stream and I'm visiting the first time. I should be more welcoming. Welcome snippets to, you know, to this programming stream. We're converting data formats today. It's very exciting. So stay tuned. Also refactoring some legacy code. Trying to get this man his ESP32 board. The Primogen has 2K plus viewers. Whoa. Okay. All right. He actually codes on stream too, right? I think not all the like code streamers code on stream. Is that true? I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I need to get in tune with the system again. I remember when it was only Twitch during COVID, code streamers kind of knew each other because I feel like it wasn't that big of a community. So I feel like people would be like, oh, you know, they would like raid each other and whatnot. I don't know how much of that that is still going on. Maybe it got bigger. Has it gotten bigger? I don't know what I'm talking about. All right. Refactor. Whenever you refactor, you want to run the tests. Oh, the test run on Ava. Wow, this is an old repo. It's as easy as chewing toffee. What is refactoring code bases? Wow, this whole code base uses the Ava test runner. It's not on Bun. I must have made this like, how old is this repo? Maybe I should just restart this repo. It does get frequent updates because of Renovate, but I bet the last time, like if you look at a file that Renovate doesn't update, like, yeah, 8 months ago, 7 months ago. So I probably haven't worked on this in 7 months. Considering the company is only 9 months old, that is an eternity ago. Hey, we live for it. Here, we live for it. Oh, boy. This is some old code. 7 months ago is an eon ago. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to plan out how to refactor this and salvage as much as possible. You know, it's tempting to just throw it away, but I bet there's really good code in here. Oh, yeah, like that. This is before AI was good, so maybe I actually wrote this by hand. Or maybe I want to rewrite it. I'm trying not to rewrite stuff so much. KiCad. Okay, so it looks like I convert it into JSON, so I do like that. KiCad mod JSON def. So basically I convert it into this nice JSON format. All right, I like that. That probably means it's salvageable. But this test suite, I really don't like it when test suites do not use bun. So we want to convert this test suite. We want to bunify this project. What are your thoughts on the Cursor code editor? I mean, I'm a user. I'm using it right now. So, you know, at the end of the day, what can I say? If I'm a user, it means I find some value in it, I guess. I like the Command K feature. It's just a really well done feature. It's basically the only thing I use in Cursor, but it's worth it. It's a nice feature. There's so many files, I don't think I can do an automated refactor. I think what I'll do is rename this directory ava-tests, and we'll do that. We're gonna really f up this code base as we refactor it. Since we're renaming the project too, it probably would have made sense to just like fork it and do a new module, but F it. Bunification begins. All right, let's do it. Oh, this is going to be a long one. Let me get my walking treadmill going. You guys can watch me bob. Oh my gosh, there's so much code to convert. Okay, all right, no problem. No problem. We're with it. Let's create a test directory. Fixtures, just a placeholder. Let's convert one of the Ava tests over, and then we'll just worry about our new suite. So it looks like I got a lot of stuff in here. USB-C, that seems like a good one. So we'll convert this test. Name it the same thing, USB-C. Test.ts. And then we're going to bunify this. I wonder if I just tell it to bunify if it'll work. So we're going to define this. I like get test fixture methods. I think they're nice. Just kind of a standard sort of function you can use in all your tests. One of the biggest mistakes I always make when refactoring Ava tests is I forget to remove this t variable. If you have a bun test, this is probably my least favorite part of bun. If you have a t variable in your test like that, your test will freeze and hang forever if you just define that t variable. Thoughts on Effect.js? I like Effect.js. I like it conceptually. It probably would be good for the parsers we're writing. Yeah, I like Effect. But it's not common enough where I would use it. So I'm like very, I don't want to, like, I feel like the opinions I have are pretty hard won for the most part. So I try to be very cautious with using that kind of stuff. Just because everybody's got to learn it. Everybody who contributes and stuff like that. So I try to do normie, you know, basically if an AI generates the code, then it's probably pretty similar to the code I write. But I do really like Effect.ts. Really like it. Okay. So it tried to save us from breaking changes. I'm gonna undo that. We're gonna allow those breaking changes to go through. Parse KiCad mod to TS circuit soup. Parse. What does that even mean? Convert KiCad JSON. Oh yeah, so we have an intermediary format KiCad JSON, which is really KiCad mod JSON because we know now. I guess I didn't know when I wrote this. There are at least five KiCad S expression formats or file types. This feels like, you know, this is file format help for sure. Okay. Get test fixture, get KiCad file. Yeah, that's pretty good. Bun. It says it can't find buns, so we have to install bun types. What are you using, Arn, if you're still there? What are you using this ESP32 for? Are you building a keyboard? What are you building? Share with the class. File content. All right, we got to await that. That's fine. So another miraculous thing that has happened since this project was created is we now have visual snapshot testing, which is an incredible innovation, but we have to configure that. So that means every test is going to generate an SVG that we can use to kind of make sure that everything's working. Okay, so we got to install this guy. I'm building a photographic light meter. I shoot film. Yeah, that roll that you used to put in your camera. And some of my vintage cameras don't have a working exposure meter. That is a cool-ass application. It would be a pleasure to help you on your journey. See, now I'm bought in. I'm like, this dude's film is going to get destroyed if I don't friggin' get this done. Honestly, your kind of like livelihood depends on me, to put it lightly. Okay, we got to copy out our bunfig. Bunfig is definitely my favorite word that these guys came up with. It's so good. Bunfig. All right, fixtures, and then we need our preload.ts file. This is where we're just going to get some types and some other stuff. Override the bun matchers. So we have our circuit JSON. So now we can do we got to import expect circuit JSON. Or we have to convert it to SVG too. So let's get circuit to SVG in here. We're also going to deploy the website inside of this project to keep everything nice and together. I think the contribution notifications repo is also not working like the actions triggering. Yeah, that's probably because of the caching issue. What's the repo called? Contribution notification? It's probably because of rate limits. So we, oh. Hold on. Yeah, hourly run. Oh, it got disabled. Oh. Okay. It got disabled automatically because of lack of activity. I didn't know GitHub did that. By the way, whoever said nice haircut earlier, I did this myself. I give myself my haircuts. So, just saying. There's an alternate universe where maybe I am just a barber. What a nice universe that would be. Free of my all this code. Honestly, it feels like sometimes that we're all just kind of adding to this big spaghetti mess of a code universe, you know what I mean? What are we really doing? Putting our spaghetti all over the universe. All right, so we're going to do 2 match SVG snapshot, and then because of a bun bug, we have to add this import meta path. What's it complaining about? I think it's confused. Okay. What, did I run the wrong test? Wait a second. Test files must be run with the Ava CLI. Something maybe went wrong. We need to rip out Ava. Let's remove that. That one can stay. Why is it running that test? Huh. All right. Should I delete this directory? I don't really want to. Let's just rename. I'm going to rename it Ava test so that it stops getting confused. No such file or directory. Something strange is going on. Let's just do a quick work in progress commit because I don't know. Code barber. Yeah, we do need a code barber. Someone to shave all the unnecessary code. Think of how much easier it'd be to be an AI if everything you learned off was actually good code. Okay, so it's saying it's struggling to open the file. Oh yeah, it's the wrong directory, right? Oh boy. Oh, weird. I think I have to do like a search for the file. I might call that code butcher. Chop chop. That's right. That's right. Oh yeah, it scans the directory. Oh, this sucks. That said, I don't see anything like super Ava specific in here, so I might just return the whole thing and see if it works. Just literally copy the code instead of refactoring it. Log soup, we don't do that anymore. It's so interesting how stuff builds on each other. This software project has been like the biggest as far as stuff gradually building on top of each other, because like one of the reasons we did all this crazy stuff with soup and logging to a server, like you would have to log everything up to a server, is because when we made it, there was no way, I had no way to render PCBs when I made this. So it was all like had to be verified by like, I would log it to a server that would draw like boxes, like just boxes. So now we can like build on it and we have visual snapshot testing and stuff like that, but none of that was there. So it was really, really hard to do at first. And this is literally just a file containing every file name in these directories. What was I smoking when I made this? What a crazy architecture. Okay, but hopefully it works. All right, let's rerun and hope for the best. I'm barely tracking what's going on right now. Oh, it works. Okay, and we got a snapshot. All right, let's take a look at the visual snapshot. Yeah, look at that. Wow, that is a pleasure to see the code work, though. Although, that is the craziest USB-C footprint I've ever seen. I wonder if that's actually right. Look at all those plated holes. Maybe USB-C. That doesn't seem right. For a USB-C footprint? I just want to look up this this module and see if that footprint is like way off. But we oh, it is. Wow, look at how complicated this USB-C thing is. Yeah, that's sturdy AF. It's $4. These are supposed to be 50 cents or less. For the cheap ones that I get anyway. Look at that thing. That thing's effing sturdy. I love it. Yeah. Yeah, that's too rich for my blood, but man, don't you love drawings like this? It reminds me of like Japanese like mechanical robot art. Maybe not. Not quite. Nope. Whoops. Okay, cool. So that conversion is working. So we so let's build a website for this. And can build a website where you can upload KiCad mod, download circuit.json, but we also want to be able to download sort of a fully working TS circuit component too. So it's kind of like two outputs. We've converted circuit.json into TS circuit footprints already. That code exists somewhere, but it's not in a library yet, I think. But the easy EDA converter does it. So let's take a look. Yeah, it's got a template and everything. Object URL. Footprint TSX. That's what I want. How do you get the footprint TSX? Generate footprint TSX. I'm pretty sure this takes circuit.json. Yeah. So, wow, that has a really small function. Okay, cool. So we basically this should be easy peasy. Yeah, I'm trying to think what I want to use for the web server. I could just use Vite, but Vite is kind of bothering me lately. It's just a little complicated, but I can't think of anything else to use. So I guess we'll use Vite for the server, and we'll start working on that. Okay, first snapshot test. We're going to use Vercel for sure, but Vite on Vercel. I don't like Next.js right now because it's kind of complicated. Next.js is too complicated at the moment. It's got like a million things going on. And then code sometimes doesn't work. I'm annoyed at Next.js. But Vite has been more consistent. Let's ask AI. What is a framework like Next or Vite, but simpler and uses React? I had an issue with Next.js and I solved it. I feel like a real engineer after solving it. Congrats. Yeah, Next.js has so many garbage issues. Yeah, most people use Vite in React. React static. I can do this. I can do this myself. Okay. Web modules runtime. I've never heard of that. Let's take a look at that. Web modules runtime. Is this not real? Okay, it's not real. I was almost going to ask you because ChatGPT couldn't solve it. What was it? Was it like SSR or server component related? Watch me get rickrolled right now. Node.js template. Got some time series data, create chart. A theme button that changes the theme on a chart. Oh, this one. Oh, it still looks a little buggy. Oh, is this the bug? Is this the bug, not the fix? This does look like a pain in the ass. It's a Tailwind theme issue. Is that right? It's like Tailwind related. Yeah. Nice job. Looks terrible. Next.js does not share the state of the button. Oh, interesting. Does not share the state of the button. Set active theme. Use effect, set active theme, local store. Oh, because you got some local storage interaction here, huh? I would do this slightly differently, but it's not bad. I would do this. I would have a separate hook just for managing anything with local storage where you pass in like the key. Like I would create an alternative to use state called use local storage state. And then I would play with that code for a bit. And then the other thing I would do is right here, you could say, you could instead of doing this causes a re-render. So you could actually have this right here, but that can cause SSR issues, but you could move this right here. But this is pretty good. You have to create a theme context and have it shared everywhere. Yep. Sounds right. Sounds correct. Context provider. All right, let's make a website. The very important, since this is first and foremost a library, we don't want to accidentally get the dependencies mixed up and accidentally bundle something that's big. And we're not measuring our bundle size, so we got to be really careful about that. But I'm going to add Vite. I like to set up lots of things, but especially Vite from scratch. Like, don't like do anything, you know? Like, don't like import Tailwind or anything like that. Do it like one step at a time because it's really easy to like mess up a Vite configuration. Anyway, this Vite thing doesn't load, and of course it gives no error. I think there might be a debug flag. So I think in this debug flag, it's kind of telling you the config it's running. But yeah, it doesn't even tell you that it like can't find an index file or anything like that. So anyway, Vite. I don't get why they made some of the choices they made. They're now a big old funded company. Okay, let's define a Vite config. Also, maybe a better way to do this is you create like an index.html file, and then I don't know, bootstrap of Vite index.html file. Project title is what's the name of this project? KiCad component converter. Here's the fix. Nice. I like that pattern. Oh, yeah, that's a really nice pattern. That's a really nice pattern. You're not using local storage anymore, though. But it's a really nice pattern. I like it. Okay, and then we have to give it the path to our main.ts file. So I'm going to create a directory site, and we'll say index.ts. This will be our main site. So Bootstrap, the Vite. Actually, it's a little bit. Vite has a convention of calling it main, and I kind of like that. So, and we'll do main.tsx. Bootstrap this Vite main file. Just one bug. Document body dataset theme doesn't work. Need to find the solution. You got this, I believe. I believe. I like it when people share projects, though. What's the end goal of drawing these charts? Are you trying to I'm curious. Is it a learning project, or is it like I want to graph my shower time? That's what I want to graph. I want to track my shower time this year. So I have a habit of taking long showers. I have charts. I have charts that I want to display. Oh, we got to install types here. Get some React types going. I haven't had the most productive start to my year. I started playing Cyberpunk, which I've never been able to get into before. And I think it's because I was playing it on the Steam Deck, and it's a little bit slow, and I'm very I don't like it when a game runs at 30 FPS. So in retrospect, Steam Deck is probably not the best fit for me because a lot of games you have to run like that. But anyway, I started playing it and I was like, "Oh wow, this is pretty fun," because I have a Windows computer now for basically that purpose. just to be able to run games. Originally, I was going to use it for other things, but then I got this Mac, and Macs are friggin' so OP now. So let's try putting our hello world in here. You got to understand how Vite works, you know? Okay, so that works. So our import of that isn't working, which makes sense because that's the correct path. It's like otherwise you're so in the dark if you can't debug your apps. Okay, so it's failing to import some style file. That's fine. We don't use that. I thought I made an app.tsx. Can I use JSX unless JSX flag is provided? Oh, cool. U.S. hospitality data. Oh, cool. U.S. hotel occupancy. Oh, cool. This is about a year of data. Look at that. People love the summer. I would actually think this would be higher around Christmas, but I guess people stay with families. Wow, super cool. I like it. What are these? What are these little links? Kaggle? Whoa, you're on Kaggle? Oh, you have a YouTube channel? Sorry, I don't mean to dox you on stream. Let me subscribe. Whoa, what? What'd you get? Are these your placements? Predict my sleep. Oh, these are cool. Oh, it's cool, man. Wow, I'm kind of jealous. I'm not on Kaggle. 7 years worth of data. Wow. Age of Empires 2. I fucking love that game. I was thinking about playing Age of Empires 2 the other day too. You know what I really want to set up is Fall Guys. I want to get a little team together for Fall Guys. But I think they have a max. I think you can't do large groups. But man, I would love to do I don't know, all the Sevi stream watchers – in a Fall Guys game or something. guys ever heard of this game? Everybody's like, no. All right, we added JSX support, so this should stop erroring. Maybe Vite will be more forgiving. Saying it can't import. Syntax error. Does not provide an export named default, because I don't really use default exports. I don't know why it's not picking this up. I forget. Oh, we got to change the lib. I'd rather just ignore it for now, because we're first and foremost a library. This is just a extra site. Hell yeah. You know of the Fall Guys? I love Fall Guys. I'm a simple man, you know? I want to play a game and be done with it after a designated period of time. Yeah, we could do that sometime. You know, the open source communities that game together stay together. All right. Let's do some Bootstrap stuff. Let's add the Tailwind CDN. Trying to think of the layout of this app too. I kind of wanted to copy the DSN converter because I like the way it's set up. It's just so simple. We can do it in the TS Circuit Discord versus VC versus game night, I guess. Yeah, whatever works. Yeah, probably voice chat. You know, it's got to be streamed though, so that I can demonstratably win. You know, you guys will be practicing for weeks to even, even go behind me. I don't know. I'm trying to talk smack, but it's Fall Guys, so. All right, let's see. How complicated is this? Let's copy out this code because I like this code, and then we'll remove the rest. A lot of people don't use the Tailwind CDN because they don't want you to use it, but it's totally worth it. Always use the Tailwind CDN if it's not like a super oops. Add Tailwind CDN. Always use the CDN if you don't want to muck around with the build system. Like if you're just getting a project off the ground and you're having Tailwind issues, just pop in that CDN and you don't have to configure anything. It's so easy. There's no reason not to do it. They don't want you to, but how does this exist? On drop and on paste? I didn't even know this was a thing. That's incredible. Okay, so we're not going to worry about those. Upload different files. I don't know. None of this really matters. We'll do. We want this. I'm going to ask AI to polish this up after, but. We'll say false. False. All right, I should be less lazy. Sorry, I'm just messing around. In the age of AI, you just approximately code. I'm going to ask AI to fix it. So we'll say, is circuit JSON uploaded? I think, wait, what do you upload to this? Is KiCad mod uploaded? And then we have, is KiCad sim? We'll do sim later. Ooh. The commit is live. Can you review the PR? Which repo? PCB viewer. Imagine I have the memory of a squirrel. You know, I think it's PCB viewer. People do make a lot of assumptions about my memory. I do have a pretty good memory, but people are like, "Hey Sebi, the function refactor didn't work," and I'm like, "Dude, you know how much code I've touched in the past 5 minutes?" This is probably it. Nice. Okay. It's a lot of code you got there. I think this is probably not good. Sorry. I probably didn't catch this the first time. Why do you set mouse position? I don't know why you set mouse position. Those re-renders are really dangerous. I also don't understand this. Mouse position on element overlay box. Filter unique traces. Okay. Okay, so get shortest trace. I think this is probably get nearest trace, not shortest. Oh, get shortest. Get shortest trace. Why would you get the shortest trace? What is this used for? Get shortest trace. You want the near it? No. No, you want to get the trace closest to the. You want to get the trace of the port that's closest to the mouse cursor, not the shortest trace. Although getting the shortest trace is an interesting idea, but so you have, I'm going to be really lazy about this. So you have, a net compose, so you've got 3 traces. Okay. So this is the net, right? And maybe because it's a net, maybe there's something like that, right? On the net. There's some kind of like, ooh, hard to erase things. So there's something like that going on. Okay, so let's talk about what you do if the mouse is at different positions. So if your mouse is here, you want to do this one. Actually, let's do it this way. Hopefully this makes sense. I don't know if I can. Yeah, all right. So that's our net. Well, let's talk about 3 scenarios for our net. Okay. So what do you do if the mouse is here? Then you want to show this net or this trace. You probably want to highlight this trace differently too. Okay. What do you do if the mouse is here? You probably want to highlight, probably want to say, okay, this is the nearest and this is the nearest. So you want to highlight this one, I guess. And then if you're here, it would still be these two. Oh, you do want to get the shortest, actually. You want to get the shortest between 2 points. Maybe that does make sense. Hold on. All right. We need one more scenario. So if you're here, you want to get this and this. We already did that. If you're here, it's this, this. So you display the shortest trace between these 2 points, which is this. It's not this. It's that. Okay. So this is your trace length. If you're over here, you have this and this. And so you're going to display this one. I guess we need a 4th scenario or a 5th. Yeah, there's no way to display between these two. There's basically no way because they're never the closest. So we never display this distance because they're never the nearest. But I think that's most logical from a user's perspective. I don't know. I'm kind of guessing. I think it's most logical. The shortest is only when we. I mean, I get that. But do you see what I'm saying? Like, if in your implementation, this is the case that I'm pretty sure you fail at, or at least fails to my specification, which is hardly a specification, but just work with me here. But I'm pretty sure this one doesn't work because I think for your implementation, what you do is you would display this one because that's the shortest of all the trace paths. So I'm pretty sure you display this, but this one I think is most logically intuitive. Basically, you display the trace path of the 2 nearest ones. Of the 2 nearest points on it. It's pretty, there's, if there's a net, I don't know what you do. If there's a net, if it's a net, I don't know. If it's a net, you would want to draw the distance until the trace joins the net, which is pretty hard to figure out. That's not a very common one, though. We don't really care about trace distances for those points. When we hover on multiple traces above each other, not like connected traces. Maybe I just need to play with it. Oh, doorbell. I'll be right back. Timer. Whew, okay. All right, I just got like 50 pounds of groceries delivered. I didn't realize I bought so much. So I got to go take care of that. For everyone watching, thank you for watching. Abc, I will do a video review of this PR and play with it and speculate more on the behavior when I understand a little bit better. I am cautious about the re-renders. The re-renders inside of the 3D viewer have really slowed it down. I have an issue about that, so I'm going to be very anal about avoiding re-renders. If you look at this issue, yeah, I'll CC you on this. I suspect the slowdown is not only... Ooh, good find. Okay. Anyway, I will review that. I will do a video review on that and dive into a little bit more depth. I would look into the re-render. I'm a little bit worried about that. But otherwise seems okay. Yeah, because like look at all these and also, am I crazy or do you keep redefining the mouse position? No, this is the only place. Okay. Yeah, I just need to look into it in more depth. The KiCad mod converter, to wrap up that one. Shoot, wow, I'm leaving this code a little broken. Gosh darn it. Friggin' groceries. I'll get this KiCad mod converter up today. I'll probably just stream again, maybe after I take care of this and eat lunch. So maybe in an hour or two, and we'll finish this KiCad mod converter. But thanks you guys for following. I got to get these groceries in my fridge and do some cleanup as well. So thanks for joining. Turn the bell on. You know, why not? Don't you want to know when I come online? You know, and look